come for a walk with me if you're too tired for words. It's sort of a 10-minute get out of the house kind of walk. Let's leave the let's process everything aside for a few minutes. Beautiful. The hedges and the grass are just dripping with moisture. Looks like everything's had a shower. Okay, so the dampness has turned into rain. My idea of self-care used to be wiping milk off the fridge shelf in case a stranger came in and opened it. Literally no stranger has ever done that. Not once. And yet there I was, treating fridge maintenance like a path to inner peace. I didn't realise for years that what I thought was self-care wasn't really that at all. I saw it properly at a self-care talk once. I was in a conference room of all places. A woman near me said she loved cleaning, and a few people laughed because it sounded a bit familiar and a little bit funny. But the woman leading the session asked, "What do you love about it?" And the woman said, "It's when I get rid of everyone, I have the place to myself, I put on music, and I clean and clean and clean until it's done. And I feel so much better afterwards." And honestly, that sounded great. Maybe not so much the cleaning, but the empty house and the music and nobody wanting anything and being able to do what you needed to do. That part sounded fantastic. Then the presenter said, "Do you actually love cleaning, or do you love the relief you feel when it's finished?" And everyone went quiet, because she was right. There wasn't pleasure in cleaning. It was relief in having the thing finished. That stuck in my head. Then a few days later, I was home after work and I was standing in the kitchen. I was looking at the counter and the fridge, and then from the counter to the fridge, and Mum was asleep in her armchair. There was a mug in the cupboard that could have been chamomile tea in about 30 seconds. And there was a small window where I could have sat down. And instead, my brain offered me the milk shelf. Again. Because maybe this would be the historic evening when that stranger burst in and opened the fridge and judged me. Such nonsense. But my hand still went for the cloth. And I thought, I'll just clear the decks and then I can relax. When everything is done, I'll have a rest. And sometimes getting something done feels so satisfying, it can pass for rest. But it isn't the same. One shuts the thing up for a minute. The other gives you something back. So I stopped and asked myself one question. If this was done, what would I choose to do instead? The answer was obvious. The chair, the tea, a few quiet moments before Mum wakes up. Nothing wild, just what I wanted. Oh, hello. Oh. And I'm not anti-cleaning. I enjoy a potter and a reset. I like a cloth and a bit of peace as much as the next woman. But I'm much more suspicious now of that bossy feeling that says, just do this one last thing and then you'll be allowed to breathe. Caught up is not a place you ever arrive. There's always one more thing, then another. I had one of those moments in the run-up to Christmas. I was meant to be having a break, and within about 2 minutes my thumb was hovering over the Notes app, ready to make a list. Just to get ahead, I was telling myself. But my body gave the game away. My shoulders were all up and I was leaning forward with a tight jaw on me. So I put the phone down and leaned back in the chair. And it felt immediately better. This sounds small, but it didn't feel small. Sometimes that's all it takes. Just noticing that you're about to spend your last scrap of an evening chasing that feeling of done again. So that's the question for tonight. If your brain starts clearing its throat at around 7 o'clock, am I doing this because I want to do it? or because I want it done. And if it's just because you want it done, ask one more thing. If it was already done, what would I choose instead? Then take the easiest version of that. 10 minutes with a cup of tea, a little while outside. Something where you feel like a person again, you know? I'm heading back now, and I suspect there's no stranger with their head in the fridge to greet me. If you're supposed to be resting but your brain is already making plans, watch this next video. It's for when even time off starts turning into another job.